If you're in your 20s and feel completely lost, you're not alone. Just like everyone else, you went to school, got a job, did everything you were supposed to do, but now you're sitting here thinking, what the hell do I do now? As a 23-year-old, I know exactly what you're going through because I've been there. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 reasons that will explain why you feel lost, and more importantly, how to finally figure out what to do with your life. Problem number 1. Imagine you wanted to go somewhere and you were given a map that you were told would get you exactly where you wanted to go. So you followed it for a while, you turned right when it told you to, you avoided this trap when it warned you about it, but one day the map just stopped and you were left there with basically no direction. You probably would feel lost, wouldn't you? Well, that's exactly what happened in your life. You've been following society's script from the moment you were born, and for a while, that map was pretty clear. For the first 18, 19 years of your life, you're basically told exactly what to do. But when you enter your 20s, the map pretty much ends. I mean, sure, you know you have to get a job, maybe a house one day, probably kids as well, but what job? Where should you live? Who should you marry? All these questions that the map you followed so closely for 20 years doesn't have the answers to. But there might be another problem with that map. Let's go back to our little story and imagine that the map never ended. It brought you all the way to your destination. So you followed it and one day you arrived. But you look up and you're not where you wanted to go at all. That dude from earlier, he gave you the wrong map. So not only are you pissed, but you're also lost. Again, that might be the situation you're in right now. You've been following the wrong map your entire life and you're only now realizing it didn't bring you where you wanted to go at all. School, the basic 9 to 5, 2 weeks of vacation per year, that's not the right path for you. I'm going to show you how to overcome this first issue later on in this video, so stick around. But first, let's go over 2 more reasons that explain why you feel lost. Problem number 2. A few years ago, I had a big decision to make. I had to decide which degree to choose in university. I genuinely had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, so the decision felt impossible to make. But instead of just sitting down for a few hours and thinking through my options, I played RuneScape. I watched Netflix, I scrolled. Anything to stop me from thinking about the choice I had to make. I was lost because I never gave my brain the opportunity to figure it out. I was in a constant state of distraction, and there's a good chance you might be in the same situation. When was the last time you sat on a park bench, or worked out without music, or went for a walk in nature? When was the last time you really gave yourself a chance to think? You fill your time with low-quality activities instead of doing things that challenge you, make you experience the world in a new way, and help you truly understand yourself. How the hell are you supposed to know what to do with your life if you don't even know yourself? I'm gonna show you how to fix this problem soon, but first let's go over the final reason why you feel lost. Problem number 3. The final point is pretty simple. Maybe the reason you feel lost is because you expected not to be. Society makes it feel like you should have everything figured out by now. Maybe it's because of social media, maybe it's because no one wants to admit they have no clue what they're doing with their lives. Whatever it is, the truth is that most people are just as lost as you are. And so I hope this little realization can help you set more realistic expectations, which will take the pressure off and make you feel a little less lost. Alright, so now you know why you feel lost in life. Let's go over how to fix that. But before we do, if this is helping you so far, subscribe to my channel. 1,000 subs by April? Maybe. Solution number 1. When trying to get a clear vision of your life, a lot of people will suggest things like writing your obituary, envisioning your dream life, imagining what topic you would give a TED Talk about 20 years from now. And I've always thought that was counterproductive because they're asking you to imagine a specific and detailed version of your life decades from now when you don't even know what to do in the next year. It's like, no, I can't write a detailed 300-word document describing what I want people to say at my funeral. That's my whole problem. I don't know what I want my life to look like. So instead, we need a method that remains very general, not specific like imagining your dream life or writing your obituary, but still allows us to get a general idea of where we're going. Here's what you do. It's very simple. Write down a list of I know that. For example, in my case, I know that I want to be financially free. I know that I want a healthy body. I know that I want children. These things right here, they will never change. And that's the whole point. What we're doing here is finding things that will always remain true in your life. Whenever you feel lost, come back to your list and ask yourself, are your actions bringing you closer to the things that you wrote down? This isn't meant to be a detailed itinerary for your life. You're never gonna get that. This is more like a cardinal direction. You know you want to go east. It's very general, but that's all you get in life. Solution number 2. You need to open up your mind. How do we do that? Well, there's a few things you can do. First of all, go to the bathroom without your damn phone. I know it sounds crazy, but for once, just sit there and let your mind think. And of course, this doesn't just apply to the bathroom. My point is, spend more time unstimulated. Work out without your headphones once in a while. Eat without watching YouTube if you can. Stop constantly distracting yourself, and trust me, your brain will figure out answers to the big questions that are making you feel lost. The second way to open up your mind is to read more books. Absorb more knowledge, learn new things, expand your worldview. Who knows, maybe one day you're gonna read something in a book that's just gonna make something click in your head. The third way is to experience more of the world. Who do you think is more likely to feel lost? Someone who's been stuck in the same routine for 5 years? Or someone who explores the world, who regularly leaves his comfort zone, who's open to new experiences? By doing a bunch of different things, you're gonna learn so much about yourself, which will give you a better idea of what you want to do with your life. Okay, so here's a little recap. Build your own map with the I Know That method. Open up your mind by spending less time stimulated, reading more books, and experiencing more of the world. And finally, realize that no one truly has it all figured out, so be easy on yourself. Now, after you've built your I Know That list, it's now time to set goals to make progress towards what you wrote down. So click here to see how to actually achieve your goals.